Austin, how's it going?
Good to be with you.
Good to see you again. Glad we were able to meet. Let
Yep.
me grab actually my notebook. Um, well, good to see you again. How you been doing?
Good. I've had better days. Just mainly, bottom line, our teams have done good with negotiating everything thus far. But if we can't get to an agreement on this clause 22, I just don't think that we're going to be a good fit. So hopefully my day gets better. Hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement.
Absolutely. Well, luckily the Patriots won, so we are in a good place in that regard. But yeah, I totally agree. I honestly think that and I'm really motivated. I want us to be able to find a deal. Honestly, we're really interested um, in having you guys and in finding the right lease agreement. Um, just tell me a little bit what the latest thoughts have been from your guys' end.
Yeah, mainly we just want to have more freedom with how we use the premises. Company standard we've got is the lion gets the lion's share. And we know the other clients that you kind of bringing into the mall, and we know that we're the anchor tenant. We're bringing in a lot of foot traffic, and we just think that because of that, we kind of deserve to have a little more freedom with how we use the premises.
Okay, that makes sense. And on our end, I think that we understand that, and obviously we've gone back and forth with communication. I think that we've been able to gain a lot of ground. I feel like there's been a lot of positive in this, and I don't see this as an obstacle that we can't overcome.
Mhm.
That's why we're here. That's why we're meeting. I want to be able to uh, come to terms to where we can find that right balance of allowing you guys to feel comfortable with that lease, um, and also allowing making sure that we feel good because as far as the mall goes, I mean the only thing about clause 22 that just is a little bit tough is the fact that if we have no control as the leasers or as the landlord of that premise and what goes in, that can change the whole dynamic of the entire mall. That changes and affects the competitiveness and the business of all of our smaller satellite tenants. And so for us, we totally understand and we totally want you. And that's the issue is we want you discount, but we don't want somebody who we don't know and who we don't haven't made an agreement with. So I think that's where we kind of have our eyes locked in is literally on you guys. We want discount. We know that you guys will bring in a lot of foot traffic, and it's tough. We don't want to go with somebody else, even though that if this doesn't work out, we would have to do so as our new anchor. But we want you guys. We want to be able to find um, that balance to where it doesn't affect our dynamic, to where we can limit that or reword that article to where we can find that right balance. I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, I mean that makes sense, and I appreciate that you guys you want discount. That's always good to hear. I just think that bottom line, if in our other stores, we're a successful company. We've got over 200 stores. Um, and if in the unfortunate and unlikely event that discount doesn't perform well, we want the freedom to be able to sell the lease ourselves rather than having you guys sell it because the more parties that are involved, the longer it takes. Um, However, we do understand, that you want to be able to find a new anchor if necessary, that kind of fits in with the model and the feeling of the mall. So it'd be great if you guys had influence on that in the sense that you could maybe help us find some viable candidates to sell to. But bottom line, we want that to be able to sell it quicker if we need to get out from under the thumb, financially speaking. And in addition, you mentioned you don't want someone you don't know. Um, we're not looking to compete with the satellites. We understand that the satellites bring in rent, which pays you guys, keeps the mall healthy, keeps the mall running. And if we push out those satellites, then you don't make money. If the mall goes under, this location doesn't have a place to be. We get that. So we want to play fair. So in that sense, you don't really have to worry about us getting something that's going to be in a direct competition with the satellite tenants. However, what we want to do is we want to be able to, if we got a product that's selling well, we want to bring in a complementary vendor perfect example, like at Macy's, they have like Sephora's and stuff like that that just bring in some brand names, helps boost Macy's revenues, etc. Um, so that's what we're looking to really do, and to maintain flexibility in the sense that we like to push things out by region. So we're thinking about testing some things that kind of fall a little outside the soft goods realm, but we're testing those. We want to test those at different stores before we launch it out nationally, and we think that this would be a great location to kind of test those products out to see if they're going to be a good fit nationally speaking for the company.
Okay. Well, I don't see any problem with that. As long as we can reword the article to be contingent upon our approval of those, collaborating together. Obviously, once, if those new products like you're talking about outside of soft goods are tested and are producing and obviously don't conflict with what we already have with other tenants, then I don't see any reason why not to be able to do that. But if we can make that contingent upon our approval and collaboration together, instead of us just not having any control, and you guys can bring in whatever you want whenever, then I'm okay with that. I see that as a win-win. You guys are able to test out new things. You're able to bring in kind of these different brand names, just as long as we can stamp our okay on that beforehand. I think would be a major benefit to the agreement and to the article. You also mentioned, so the lease agreement, what we were talking about 10 years, I think.
So the contract, at least what my guy told me, the contract was for about 25 years.
Okay.
But you guys did mention something about like the financing was going to take about 10 years.
Right.
Yep. And my rep told me that kind of had some influence on as to why you guys were not able to kind of move some things around with the clause.
Yeah. So what if we did this? What if every 5 years or so, if you want to do a 25-year contract, I see that as a great deal, and obviously that's the kind of number we were talking about. What if every 5 years we were able to do just that, collaborate, and you guys can present any of these new changes that you see fit to increase and to help your business plan, whatever you want to do, and we can collaborate together and coordinate or approve whatever it is that you guys are thinking. That would be, almost like a 5-time review and evaluation process. That way you guys don't feel locked in for 25 years, one product, one thing. I get that. But if we can do that, I think that would make us feel comfortable to where we're working together. We're wanting you guys to be able to do what you want to do, and you guys are respecting kind of the dynamic and character of the mall in general.
Right. I think I like where that's going. However, I think if we can make it so you guys are just more involved rather than a 5-year, because if we got a product that we want to push, we want to do it immediately. We don't have to wait for 5 years.
Okay.
So what if we did this instead? If we can get that fourth of the store to really use for complementary vendors, as well as if we're thinking about launching a new product that's going to be a little bit outside the soft goods realm, you personally can sit in with me, or if you got a member of your team you want to do it, that's fine too. But you can sit in and you can be with those interviews that I'm going to have with the vendors to find out if they're going to be a good match for discount. That way you can hear if it's going to be a good match for the mall. And if you've got some reservations with it, you and I can hash that out. And if it doesn't work, then we'll try a different approach. That way, I'm not locked in the sense that if we've got a great business idea, we got to wait 5 years to implement it. Rather, we can implement it as soon as you and I both think that it's a good thing.
Okay, good. I like that. I'm okay with that. And then in that meeting, we would be able to then approve or try a different
approach as far
solution.
As the vendor. Yeah.
Good. Okay. I like that. Like I said, I think that this is a great opportunity. Obviously, the location's great. You're linked with the Newport right to Massachusetts Boston metropolitan
Yep.
area. I think there's a lot of good things about this, and so I think if we can do that, it'll work out great.
Well, I think that if we just get that up in writing, I think that we've got a deal.
Okay. Alrighty, great.
Perfect. Thanks, Spencer.
Austin.